Welcome inside the John M. Huntsman Center on the campus of the University of Utah, the site of the 2026 5A State Championship. Dusty Litster, pleased to be joined by Dane Stewart, and of course, one of our coaches, Coach Quincy Lewis. Coach, this is a good one between Olympus and Highland. This is a region matchup from 2 games.
Boy, does it get much better than this right here? I mean, these are 2 fantastic teams right here. They know each other well. This is going to be a heck of a game.
It's interesting when we look at these 2 teams and how they match up. They're built pretty interestingly, but they are also built a little differently.
Yeah, you know, I think you have one guy here with Olympus that, you know, the low kid is just a sensational player. And a lot of things come from him that happen with Olympus. But Highland is a really balanced team. There's a lot of guys where they can get good things from.
Well, it's interesting to see how they're built, Dane. It's interesting to see how much they actually get moved around and how it all works.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of talk about the Gavin Lowe show, right? And it's well-deserved. But Olympus is not here if it's not with the support around Gavin Lowe, because in that semifinal against Timpview, yeah, Gavin was good, but it was the guys around him who made big-time plays. I mean, you talk about some threes from Lazaris. You talk about Evans had some big shots as well. They were both in double figures. Gavin's going to do his thing tonight. Coach, I'm really interested to see if Highland's like, hey, we know we can't stop Gavin, but we're going to shut everyone else out and see if we can't just take away the supporting cast.
Yeah, how do you guard him? That's the whole question, you know, and it's not a question of if he's going to beat people. He's going to get it in the lane. He's going to get it in the lane. And so now it turns into you help and then get back quick, or you just let one guy handle him, try to gap him a little bit, make it a hard 2, you know. But I'll tell you what, he makes everybody better. He gets guys open shots, and you're exactly right. I mean, a couple of these kids from Olympus, they made Timpview pay. Yeah. They had open shots because they helped off.
How would you defend him?
I gap him, and I try to make him make hard 2s, and I wouldn't give the rest of his teammates open shots because they've proven that they can get it done.
Interestingly enough, to get ready for the opening tip, jumping for Olympus is David Lazaris, and for the Highland Rams is Soren Reese.
Both these games in region play were low scoring. In fact, some of the lower scoring games both these 2 teams had. And as good as their offenses are, and they are, Coach, these are 2 really well defensively coached teams.
They are tough, and I think they both have shown that they can win a fast game and a slower game.
That ball just swung on and missed, and then does get taken care of when the ball hits the ground. So back up the floor to get things started here with the Highland Rams and number 11, Isaiah Drisdom. Young men have been terrific throughout the week. Going outside to Anderton. Comes off a screen. He sends back out. And this is Bodie Dodge. So drop it into Reese. 5 seconds on the shot clock. He goes hard to the hole. Oh, man, that's a tough shot.
So there was a switch on the ball screen up top, and eventually Highland was able to take advantage of that switch down on the post.
Pretty interesting first possession, Dane.
Yeah, I like it. Patience, working the perimeter, go to your big guy inside.
There goes Lowe. He gave it up and mishandled, got it in the corner to Lowe. He's going to step back now, shoot it over. There's a traveling violation.
It's a good call. You know, and really looking at that possession, you know, Highland came over on Lowe's drive. He got there, and that was a layup right there. They got to be careful with that. You hate to give up those 2s in the lane, but boy, this kid is so good. He's going to give guys layups.
Well, and made the comment earlier, as good as his defense or his offense is, he's a lockdown defender too. You always got to know where he's roaming. He'll create steals.
And get things moving. There's a 3 from Drisdom. 5-0 in favor of the Rams.
Boy, I love to see his feet on that shot. Well balanced, catch and shoot, all in one motion. Excellent shot.
I love that he hits that 3. I mean, Drisdom, that's like a statement. Hey, I'm locked in. We're good to go, guys. We got it.
3 on the way, back rimmed. And the rebound grabbed by Soren Reese. We'll send that out. How about this? If he'd knocked that one down.
That one wasn't quite in rhythm like the first one was.
Yeah. Lowe gets inside, sends it back up top, and then reset the offense. Gavin on the drive, missed it, got it back, and puts it up and in.
One way or another.
that kid feels like a wrestler, doesn't he? Because he's just always that kind of scrappy, gritty, bounce, never give up.
He may just grapple you.
That's actually really true when you put it that way. There's a steal.
Great help right there on the post. I think that's Jackson.
Leave it for Lowe.
They're not helping as much.
Oh,
see, now that's great. That's great coaching right there. Goldsberry, or no, who's 14?
Owen.
Yeah, Owen.
And now a steal from Owen. Steps back, knocks down a three.
No Titan triple chant, but it was undoubtedly a Titan triple. Oh, yes.
Great kick out.
Three on the way, and boom. Knocks down a three. That is Bodie Dodge knocking down a three.
Hey, fellas, I think we're in for a special one right here.
Yeah.
Totally agree, Coach. This is going to be a crazy, crazy night.
Okay, so here we go, a middle screen, guard to guard. They're looking for a switch. They got it. They got a little bit different matchup.
Oh, he steps through and lays it up and in. If Gavin Lowe is going to get that kind of look, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, and that's a tough one to decide how you want to defend that.
I'm trying to understand what Coach Jones is so mad about.
It's not mad, it's just coaching.
Timeout on the floor. It's a full timeout. And we'll be right back as Olympus leads 9-8 on Highland. In the Huntsman Center, 9-8 in favor of Olympus. And Coach, very interesting to see what comes out of this timeout.
Yeah, Chris had some really nice sets the other night. He went to Anderton, going to his right out of some timeouts. I think early we've seen how Highland's going to defend Gavin Lowe. They're going to try and play him with one guy and everybody else go home to the shooters. So we'll see how it goes.
So the foul going to be given there to Caden Jackson. First personal on Caden. So just down one. That's the first team foul of the day for either team as the three's on the way, won't go. The rebound to Lazarus.
Boy, he does a great job of pivoting. So hard to handle.
And, man, he covered so much ground
Yes,
on that,
does.
too, right?
Yeah.
And there's a kick ball there by Anderton. A 3-point lead here for Olympus. And it just always seems weird when you had a game that's so close like this one and one gets out the 3 points, it just feels different when it happens.
Yeah. You know, one thing about this Olympus team is, I mean, when you think about Mott Barnes, you think about 3-point shooting and offensive team, but you don't get here without playing excellent defense.
And you have to. Is that right? I mean, you got to play amazing defense to get here.
You really do, because that consistency, that makes up for when the shots aren't going in.
A little pump fake, they go by, misses on the three, and into the hands.
I think that's the first time that Higbee may have touched the ball in this first quarter.
Turns it over, now on the run.
Higbee's such a strong part of their game, especially inside.
Oh, could not get that one to drop.
Well, that's a really nice move, though, by Jackson. He's a nice player.
And that one we called out of bounds off of Lowe. And coming on the floor now is going to be number 15, Charlie Hodge. For Vi Higbee. Starting to fill up in the lower bowl tonight.
So there's a switch on the ball screen again.
And a 3 back rim.
You surprised Highland's taking so many outside shots, Coach?
Yeah, they started with it inside off the switch. They kind of went away from that.
They haven't really gone back in.
No.
Jackson gives that one up. He sends out to Jack Evans. Evans gives it up now to Gavin Lowe. Gavin
That's
looking for
excellent
some
defense. Boy.
How about Drisden? Knows where he's going.
The handoff does not turn into points, and the rebound to Soren Reese.
And that right there is why Highland wants to keep Drisden on him. Oh, he made that move the other night. Oberholzer did that same move.
The 3 is good, and that's a part of the extra pass. Ties you up at 11, but it gives you the open look.
Right, and it's Oberholzer again, right? And he was the guy the other night that hit a couple shots, and now he's getting into the middle of the lane, makes a great pass, finds a really good three-point shooter. And here we are again playing in the middle third of the floor, and that's an excellent pass.
Beautiful pass. And Lazarus lays it up and in. Nicely done there by Davion Lazarus.
Well, that's one that I think may sting in film because he just goes right down the middle. They just don't pick him up.
Oh, to the rim and does not go. You look at the game from the other night, and then you look where it is tonight. Coach, it just does not seem the same there from Oberholzer. Is going to pull and hit. How about the 3 from Gavin Lowe?
Okay, that was a mistake right there. There's no steal.
And another steal cannot get the bucket. Sends out to Reese. All right, I think we can settle it in.
Highlands had a couple turnovers in their own backcourt, not helping their case here.
No. And really that last play, Drisden and Anderton got confused on who was guarding who, and they left Lowe wide open.
Here's the matchup.
Yep. There goes Soren Reese. Gets him off of his feet. Oh, my God. Gets it to go. 10 seconds left in the quarter. And what is now a 7-point ball game. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. And he nails it. How about the 3 from Charlie Hodge? A huge 3 going to the break.
Yeah, how about this play to close it out for the Rams? Just when it looked like Olympus going to pull away, Hodge from the corner.
With a TabSpend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
How's your card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. TabSpend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
Lister, Dane Stewart, and Coach Quincy Lewis. And Quincy's pretty interesting to see what we're going to see in the second quarter just because the teams know each other so well.
They do, and right now, Chris Jones is just trying to figure out this Gavin Lowe situation. He's had Anderton on him on a switch, and that was a tough one. And now Drisden is his best bet. But he's also had Reese, and he took Reese, leading shot blocker in the state, to the block and scored it on him. This guy's amazing.
Unreal, right? On the drive, Lowe sends out to Jackson. Nice move. Oh, he doesn't get it to drop. Man, it was pretty interesting to see. They didn't call anything there on Reese.
Yeah.
Oh, my heavens.
Wow.
Nothing on Reese. And then the steal.
I like that. Highland had 14 points, 12 of them from beyond the arc in that first quarter.
The 3 won't go for Jackson.
I feel like the Rams got to get back inside.
Yep. You could tell when that was going. Like, I don't think that's going to fall. The 3 is good. That from Jordan Oberholzer, who absolutely buries a 3.
He's been a key, and really coming off that ball screen, the switch is a little bit low, and he's shooting off the dribble. Not that many kids can shoot that off the dribble.
You have 5 made threes from 5 different players for Highland.
Wow.
On the drive, got him off his feet, and then, they called charging.
No,
travel.
Yep.
And there again, Matt is getting matchups for Gavin Lowe that he wants. And so when you talk about coaching, Matt this is pretty good right here.
Well, in fairness, is there a matchup you don't want when Gavin Lowe plays for you?
You know, I think the guy that is the best, though, that I've seen so far is Drisden. Yep.
Nice drive and got it. Nicely done. And there you go. 19-18, Highland with the lead.
You know, Dodge, there's a kid, he's averaging 11, 12 points a game. He's a darn good player. That was a nice finish right there with the left.
Hit a game winner against Alta this season on a drive similar to that. He's quick. Doesn't get talked about a lot, but he's a really good scorer.
So now we got Oberholzer on him.
Just calls it on the floor, but he got it to go. My gosh.
Here's the real question. How does Gavin Lowe have this much energy?
I mean, is it just energy drinks or what do we got going here? I'm not sure, but that guy just goes and goes, and he's a two-way player. We watched him guard Dean Ruckert the other night. I mean, this guy does it all.
Sends that one out. Here's Gavin Lowe. He is a junior. Will be back next year. Nice drive and finish. 20-19.
13 for Lowe. That first step, like it's a backbreaker.
It's tough. You know, I think, I mean, he's a really good player, but you still got to make him go left a little bit maybe.
And the three does not go. And that ball is battled for and will go to Olympus.
I'll tell you what, when they say substitution right here over the mic, I don't think Gavin's looking over his coach.
No. Although he might be looking at the clock. How much longer do I got to go before I can get?
The funny thing is we actually follow each other on Facebook, and the funny part is I actually get to see all of the ER visits that he makes. I'm only teasing. He hands that ball off, and now the drive as he sends that ball up top. Oh, nice spin.
Really nice.
Oh, man, that was beautiful. Nicely done there by Luke Owen.
Yeah, and Owen, he was a huge piece down the stretch against Timpview the other. I think he had like 4 threes against him. That guy's a really nice player as well.
I'm surprised this Olympus pressure is having this much effect on Highland. I haven't seen him a couple times.
I am too, because Highland really has some good handlers out there, but they're having a hard time with it.
You see Coach Jones doing a little hopscotch there on the far sideline. You say, hey, you got to go up and grab it. You got to just go get the basketball.
Okay, so we have another. He was trying to get another Hodge on it. Now Hodge, yep.
And there's a moving screen.
Matt's trying to get a switch and get Hodge to guard Lowe. So they were able to keep Drisden on him right there and got a turnover.
22-19, Olympus leads Highland in the 2025's 5A state championship. So welcome back in, Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Coach Quincy Lewis. I mean, Coach, it's been interesting to see everything they've shown tonight to Soren Reese, but they can also sell a little bit more as well.
Yeah, you know, and I think with the switches, Highland could take advantage in the post a little bit, you know, and then you look at the other end, and everything's being run through the middle third of the floor. It reminds me a little bit of watching the St. Mary's game. They do different things, but it's all in the middle third of the floor for Lowe. And when that's the case, you really have to show a crowded floor with your wings.
Which is really interesting, especially when you speak of Highland, because they usually have a ton of wings that gives you a little something as Drisden drives right to the rim and lays it up and in.
He hit that first three. That's the first point since that point for Drisden.
You know, and I think Dane made the point. Highland shot a lot of threes, a lot of perimeter shots, and there's one going to the rim. They need a little bit more of that.
They do.
So on the drive, gets right to the rim and lays it up and in. And that is Caden Jackson.
I think he's just a junior. I mean, both these teams are young. I mean, they could be right back here playing this thing again.
But how about his ability to drive, not just drive, but to get to the spot first? I mean, he's behind that defense. There's nothing you can do at that point.
Right, and there's Reese, a little jumper.
Did not go.
You know, this is certainly something that's worked on day in and day out with Olympus. You know, as they run a lot of loops. They run a lot of pivoting, you know, around the basket.
Three on the way and got it. Lazarus He looked right at the student section. Like, hey, I got it.
That kid has grown up this week.
I think he forgot he was the front man in the press there for a second. He was pretty happy about making that.
Right to the rib, and Drisdom lays it up and in. That kid is so good.
I think you just got to do that a little bit more here if you're Highland.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he sees that, he has got to go. And foul going to be called.
So they do call the block.
They called that on Drisdom.
Sorry.
I was so shocked that they actually called something. 2-1.
How many fouls is that on Drisdom? Is that one?
That's just one.
That's just
number
one.
My bad, coach.
But sometimes I miss the fouls. I may not hear them, so I could be wrong.
On the drive, he's going to send out.
That was well defended right there. That's what they want. They want to get to.
Sends back out to the big man and go. He knocks it down. Oh, they called a flop.
I've seen more of those today than I've seen all year long. We had one earlier.
1,000,000%.
Have one right there.
That is so hard. I feel for the officials. That is such a hard thing to determine, because sometimes a kid just falls off balance when he shoots the shot and falls down, and he's not trying to flop. I don't know for sure what that was.
He totally flopped.
You know, sometimes when you're falling away, you know, on a shot, you're automatically your foot is going to pop up. You know, that's just the natural. But right now, that's a little bit of a flop. So I don't know. It's hard.
Well, I don't remember if it was you, coach, or someone else, but I think we're still finding how to officiate that rule.
Yeah.
Right? It's written in the rule book, and we're trying to officiate based off of that. But I think we're still trying to find its fit.
Yeah, I think so. And you know, and hopefully next year there's maybe a little bit more direction and can tighten it up a little.
Yeah.
Because I see the real challenges that officials and coaches have with that right now, and it's not a win for anybody right now.
Especially the way it's written. Right? It just does not get you unless you're actually, looking for something, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice hands. Lazarus just absolutely took that one away.
Can't tell you how impressed I've been with the sophomore this week. Saw him early in the year. Man, he looks like a different kid this week.
Oh, that's pretty. Going to send it back out. The good defense keeping that one in. They're going to say, no, a foul here on number 4. That's his go on Goldsberry.
Boy, Olympus stays with the press right here. You know, Lazarus, that's a pretty long guy right there in the front half of the press.
Yep.
They throw it over. Wow, they turned it over again.
Went for it and went off the hands of number 1, Bodie Dodge.
Tell you what, Highland's going to go back and look at this first half and be really upset with themselves.
Yeah.
Because they left a bunch of opportunities, or
you can't give up possessions without a shot, and that's kind of what's happened here. You're in this kind of a game, you got to get a shot.
Well, I think for me, I mean, that's what, 3 or 4 times where a turnover in the backcourt, like not even across the timeline.
That's right.
That ball does not go. If he threw that ball back out, they'd actually get a better shot.
Yeah. And you know what, though? That was a really nice look. I mean, not a lot of kids use the mid-range. There's Oberholzer again. But that was a really nice looking shot.
Going to bring it back down the floor. And Gavin Lowe leaves it for the big man. Yeah, not going to fall. You could tell when that ball left his hands. Like, yeah, that's not going to go.
I'm surprised they haven't established Higby right. He's great on the block, in the paint.
Going to put that ball up top. 15 on the shot clock. That ball slapped away. Nicely done. Couldn't get it. Gets his own rebound. And now goes up with it and puts it up and in. Man, that was tough.
You know, as I'm watching Highland, really the strength of their team is, you know, the scoring from their guards, the driving from their guards. And so when they're throwing it inside to Reese, that isn't necessarily their first option of what they really want to do. but that's what Olympus is giving him with the switches.
So the second personal foul there on Drisden.
So I think Chris has got to be, he's got to be really careful here, because Drisden having just 2 fouls going into the break to me is really important. And you got a minute and 11 left. Do you want to keep him on low, or do you want to switch Oberholzer back? Maybe something to think about.
Well, and if you're low, you're probably paying attention to that, right?
Yeah.
If I'm coming down and Isaiah's on me.
Yeah, and even Matt Barnes, maybe a guard-to-guard screen to make sure he's got the matchup that he wants.
Yeah, here it is. So here's the trade-in for Jack Evans as he comes in for number 33, Luka Miles. And there's a man. The hands there to Caden Jackson.
That was almost number 5 in the backcourt.
So the second personal foul on Caden Jackson. 32-25. Olympus with the lead. Gonna send it over. Anderton now into the corner. Drop it into Soren Reese. A nice move, but Soren had nowhere to go. Ooh. Drisden, back rimmed, and the rebound to Jackson. About a 7-8 second difference.
Well, this has been fun to watch. Drisden and Lowe going against each other. That's the best of the best right there, guys.
Isn't that up? Yeah, 100%. Especially when you look at Drisden's dad and everything else. Of course, his dad is one of the good point guards that come out of the state of Utah.
Yeah. Tim was a heck of a player. So there's a switch.
Oh, that's nice. Got him on Anderton. They didn't give it to him.
On the floor.
On the floor, okay. I was like, wait, what? There was no signal, like, hey, no foul.
But that's the last foul to give.
Yeah, it is. So you got 10 seconds left right here.
Yep.
Yeah, Lowe taking it out. I wouldn't let him have it back, and he went and got it.
So here's Lowe with 8 seconds. 9 seconds. Goes right inside. Yeah, got him off his feet. Absolutely. And going to get the foul call as there's the foul, the Bodie dodge. And it's going to be Gavin Lowe going to the free throw line with 2 seconds left in the half.
Boy, I'll tell you what, when he comes to a jump stop, boy, those shot fakes, step throughs, and he's got patience too. So if he hasn't got it, he doesn't force it. He kicks it out, and that's unusual. He's really got a knack for it.
He uses that shot fake a ton. You're seeing a ton of Highland defenders going for that initial shot, and then his patience of knowing how to then respond, be it rolling off of that or going into it for a shot, been really impressive.
And he's 2 for 2 from the free throw line, so 2 seconds to go. Here's Drisden going to let it fly. Ooh. And the halftime score, Olympus 34 and Highland 25. You're watching the 2025 5A State Championship. And welcome back into the Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Coach Quincy Lewis with you. Quincy, been an interesting first half, and we got to find out where we're going to be in the second half.
Yeah, if I'm Highland, I go in there and I say, okay, we're down 9, we're fine, we can get back in this thing. But we do have to do a little bit better job against the full court press, because it's a two-edged sword. One, you're not getting a shot on the other end, and 2 is some of those turnovers, you're giving Olympus an advantage to score. So I don't know what the exact number is, but it might be worth 5 or 6 points right now in this game.
Yeah, I agree. And then for me, offensively, if I'm Highland, I try to get maybe a little pick and roll, Drisden going down the lane. Drisden's been able to attack. It's just they continue to work that ball around the perimeter. I'd like to see them try to get inside a little bit. We haven't seen Higbee on the block much today at all, and see if you can't maybe spread out some of the bigs of Olympus and make them make some decisions in the paint. Are they going to help or not? And see if you can get some backside passes and some easy looks. But Coach, I'm with you. I mean, it's been some self-inflicted wounds for Highland in that first half.
Yeah, and Chris is an excellent coach, and Highland has some metal to him.
Yeah.
And I'd be surprised if we don't see that right here.
Good inbound here on the near side, and then we'll be started and ready to rock and roll here in the 6A or 5A state championship as we are underway in the second half. 34-25 the lead in favor of Olympus. Is up top with Anderson, going to go to Higbee. Higbee put it on the floor. Nice job, goes to the rim and cannot get it. And the loose ball in the hands of Vi Higbee. And that's where we'll have a foul. And it'll be on Higbee.
Nope.
No, said
It's on
two.
Jackson.
And the way Higbee reacted, that's why I was thinking it was on Higbee.
And Dane, you called that one. He wanted to kind of see what Higbee could do in this game, and they went right to him.
That foul goes on Caden Jackson.
That's his third.
Hard of the hole.
That's Jackson's third, right?
Yes.
Huh?
Yep.
Okay.
By the way, Lowe had a pedestrian 17 in that first half.
Oh, is that all he can manage?
That's it. That's it.
Here is Lowe.
So now they got the switch, and now we got Reese.
Reese has been struggling. Oh, there you go. So he tried to reverse it on him, and Reese was right there to knock that ball out of bounds.
Reese, if he gets in that situation, you just got to gap him a little bit, give him a little bit of space. Because Reese is so long, he can get to a lot of stuff.
Hands off to Gavin Lowe. Lowe going to step back, does not hit. The rebound to Reese. So quickly on the run. Imagine you're going to have some stuff get set up here. By Higbee, going to go work on the dribble. Now you have a jump ball. Possession arrow belongs to Olympus. Now you see Coach Jones on that far side. What are we doing? What was that?
That one's probably a little forced, but that's a great defensive play there by Owen.
Yeah, they're trying to take advantage of Owen. I think it's clear, right here out of the gates, but they haven't quite been able to do it yet.
And that's where, for me, I wonder if you get him on the block and get that ball entered, if that's maybe a little easier approach.
And there goes Jackson, hands back to Higbee, sends up top on the drive, gonna pull up and still, oh, never mind, got it. I didn't think that was gonna go.
Goldsberry, but they have a lot of good players. I mean, that's a pull-up jumper, and not an easy one.
I thought that was gonna be long, Dan.
Yeah, I didn't know that was gonna go down. It was a nice little bucket.
Sends that one back over, dodge blocked away, heads up play.
By who?
Yep.
Gavin Lowe.
Yeah.
Gavin Lowe. That's one maybe you hope Dodge goes to the rim a little bit.
And all nicely done.
Right back at you.
You got me, I got you. So 11 points, Olympus lead. And send it out for three and got it. Oh, man.
Man, oh, man.
Dane, I did not see a 14-point lead.
No. Nope.
Oh.
Man, just somehow able to keep his feet on this end of the floor. And the corner, but that was knocked away there by Gavin Lowe. And it'll be inbound along the baseline. Coming into this game is Jordan Oberholzer. As Bodie Dodge come off the floor. So Vi Higbee comes off the floor. So Drisdom down the lane. Oh, nice take and make. Be able to take the body, be able to get it to go.
Well, I really like that. The whole middle third of the floor is opened up. I have to think that was by design by coach. Got Drisdom going to the rim.
It's on the drive. Here's Drisdom.
Olympus has such great patience. They get they get into the paint and they jump stop and they, I mean,
3 seconds, 2 seconds, and there you go. That's the end of it.
It's good defense by Reese. They get that switch again, coach, but Soren's been good the second half.
He has.
Overholzer. Oh, nice move. Fall away, does not go. Hands off to Caden Jackson, free throw line. And how about that little jumper from Overholzer?
Caden Jackson, just a strong pull up there from 2.
You know, he missed one in the first half, but it looked good, and that one was really nice.
And right back down the floor, Soren Reese.
Yeah, you know what? That play right there is available if they can attack the press.
But, you know, this third quarter is evaporating. We got 3.5 to go, 3.5 to go. Like, I don't want to say it's trouble time, but you'd want to start seeing some stops here from Highland.
So here's let's see if they switch it. They go underneath it.
Straight away, does not go. The board is sent over to Drisdom. And here's the other part. He did not have a timeout in the little 3-minute window. And take it, send out to the corner. It does not go, and the rebound tracked down by Lowe.
That one went in the other night.
Yeah,
it absolutely got it done. Oh, there's the foul to Drisdom. And that'll be his third personal foul. And it'll be a timeout on the floor. No doubt about it. 2:50 left in the third quarter. And it is 41-29 as the Olympus Titans have the lead on the Highland Rams.
With a tab spend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Capture card.
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. Tab Spend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
Back into the Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Coach Quincy Lewis with you. And the free throw is good from Gavin Lowe.
How about this? We talked about the first half for Gavin Lowe. That's his first point in this second half. So Highland's done a much better job on him defensively.
I think they've made some nice adjustments. I think they just need to figure out how to get in the flow offensively.
And this has not helped them because this press has been good for Olympus.
Drisdom gets it across just in time, and man, that ball was thrown out of the way. And I'll tell you right now, what Olympus has done has been absolutely stunning. How they've taken away offensive options, how they've gone after it. Is Drisdom able to come up with the steal?
What a move.
He had the man. There it is. And Reese cannot get it. He wants a foul call. And the official's just walking up the floor.
Hard to say, you know, from right here. Drisdom, he made a couple in and out moves on that were just outstanding to get to the paint.
So that one was going to be handed off. There's the driving lane. Oh, man. How about it from Gavin Lowe?
When they're back to that switch, right? That high screen, get the switch.
Yep.
Burst from Gavin.
And he's only, oh, man. Just turns it over to Overholzer. And here's the thing, up 16, you've got to just take care of the basketball.
It's like my iTunes right now. It's not in sync. It's out of sync right now. Is iTunes still a thing?
It is.
Okay.
Matter of fact.
I almost dated myself.
Just
That would have been
music, guys.
embarrassing.
I think it is anyway, right? Or is
I
it
don't
just
know.
music? Might just be music.
Might just be music.
Oh, nice drive and finish. Man, that was pretty, Coach.
It was.
And how about the mindset of Lowe? He's been blocked a couple times, so he just extends that to the reverse side.
Yeah, gets the other side of the rim. That's a nice pass.
Oh, it was a nice pass.
Oh,
Oh, my heavens. The three on the way. No. And the rebound goes the way of the Titans. And you can see Coach Jones kind of like, what in the world is going on?
From the get-go, Highland has missed some of the simple plays.
they have.
And
I tell you what, this is not the Highland team that has played all year.
no,
You know,
no.
this is not them, and it just kind of snowballed with this press is kind of giving them some problems, and I think they're just, it's affected other parts of the game.
To go inside to Lazarus, and he's going to lose the basketball out of bounds, and it's going to stay here with the Titans. 11.7 left in the third quarter. As they go in and
Shot
now,
clock.
2 seconds, 1 second. Oh my gosh. How about Gavin Lowe? 2 seconds, 1 second. And he doesn't get it. Coach, this is unreal.
I mean, as the shot clock is ticking down, where else do you go?
Yeah, and again, you got a catch and shoot right there, a good high release. This kid's a winner through and through.
Unbelievable.
He had 17 with like 2 minutes to go. He's up to 26.
Oh, my heavens.
Scored 9 in the last, I don't know, two minutes or so.
Going into the fourth quarter, it's Olympus 50 and Highland 29. You're watching the 2025 5A State Championship. Welcome back into the Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Coach Quincy Lewis. I mean, just unreal, Coach, to see what this has become and what it could be if it doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's really surprising. Olympus has really disrupted the flow that Highland has. And really, if you're Highland right now, you're just focused on, hey, let's go get 2 points.
Yeah.
Let's go get 2 points, and then let's turn around and get a stop. And, we saw earlier in the tournament, a 17-point lead evaporate in a game. And
over about 6 minutes.
Yeah, and I watched Florida come back from 26 the other night.
Oh, who'd they come back on?
It was Georgia. Georgia ended up winning the game, but they were up 26, and they lost the lead.
Well, that's SEC basketball. You heard they're only like 500 in league play, right?
Those teams aren't any good. I mean, number 11 in that league is awfully good.
Amazing, right?
Yeah, it is.
So Goldberry goes to the line and knocks down number 1. But
I don't even know if Olympus had this coming into this ball game.
Oh, no. I think if you talk to Coach Barnes, there's no way he would have said he's looking at the score he's looking at.
No.
At all.
And I'll talk to him afterwards, and he'll say that. Highland's a really good team, man.
I said it for him.
And it's just so weird that we got them on the night that they had like their sleepiest night.
Yeah.
And some top-level defense there.
I don't know what it's like to be a coach, but Quincy, I would guess this is what you dread walking in. Is like, I just want us to play well. Because it's just been a tough go for Highland tonight.
Oh, my heavens. That's to turn it over. And actually, that ball goes out of bounds.
It's like they're seeing shadows right now.
They
right?
are, and I think you hit it right. The simple plays, and they're not making simple plays. Like right there, I mean, come back to the ball, but it's, I think their mind is a little bit somewhere else. And honestly, I've been in a few state championship games, and I've seen how things snowball really quick, more in big games than in regular season games.
Well, it's amazing what happens in the state tournament. I mean, when you're looking at a one-loss situation, it's just such a different deal.
Yep, it is. And you're on the big floor, and you know what it all means. And I've seen this happen a number of times.
And every year, it's like, how did this happen? And who it happened to and when it happened.
Right.
On the drive, low and I traveled.
Whew. Jesus.
Because that wasn't going, wasn't it?
I mean, apparently the rules can stop Gavin Lowe, so we found someone who can slow him up.
At least it looked like they got him, and Gavin Lowe picks up a foul. Oh, it's just his first. So, first team foul of the quarter. Each team has a team foul. But Drisden drives and cannot get it.
You know, should this hold, we would have 3 of our 4 state champions, 6A5 boy girls, would be repeats.
Oh, that's
Davis,
true,
the
huh?
only one that did not repeat. Everyone else was at least a one-time repeat. Bountiful 3, Lone Peak Girls 4, Olympus 2. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4. How about that?
I didn't even think that. How about it? Oh, man. How about the take and make by Gavin Lowe? Put him at the line looking for a three-point play. Beautiful. Go ahead, Dane.
Yeah. I mean, look at, Coach, you said it early, right? How they were going to try to attack that high screen, get the switch.
Yep.
That's just,
You know, Coach Barnes just gets just what, matchup he wants. And then he lets the kid play. And sometimes the best coaching you do is just give the kid some space and put him in the right place.
I mean, you used to think about Matt Barnes and it was system, system, system. This is not system. This is like Matt Barnes just doing a heck of a job coaching, and he's done that the last couple of years, right? But it's no longer just we'll shoot 3, 3, 3, 3 like it.
Yeah.
It is different for Olympus, and man, it looks pretty.
Well, Matt Barnes has got 4 state championships.
Yep.
I mean, and I don't know how many more he's played for. And so, I mean, you're talking about a guy with the experience. He's been here before. He's got it going with Olympus. And, what's impressive is he does it with different guys all the time. I remember back in, 2021, he had the big kid inside Jack.
Yep. Worcester.
Yeah, Worcester, and they were post-oriented that year, and they had a great team. Could easily have won it that year.
Fun fact, you want to know why Jack is so good? You want to know why he was so good? I found the secret. His mom makes some chocolate chip cookies that will blow your socks off.
That is actually
it's
true.
Unreal.
It would be the first time.
But speaking of unreal, we've heard legend of the knowledge of Quincy Lewis. So we're going to ask you some real tough questions.
Well,
tough questions. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. What is the mascot of Whitehorse High School?
Raiders?
Look at you, atta kid. That's impressive. I didn't know if you'd get that one.
That was a tough one. You put me on the hot seat right out of the gate.
I'm going for it. Okay. I got another one. You got one? What about Desert Peak?
Oh man, I actually saw that the other day, but I cannot remember what it is. But it's out in Tooele. I do know that.
And in fairness, it's not open yet.
Oh, so it is not open yet.
It's going to open this year, but so I know that's kind of a tough one.
Okay, give it to me.
It's the Golden Eagles.
The Golden Eagles.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway.
So I got that one. I got that one now.
Well, it's kind of a tricky one because it's not really open. So it's kind of.
Okay, so I'm going to come right back at you.
You're good. Okay.
Dugway.
Shoot.
It's not the Dinos. I'll give you that.
No,
that is not the Dinos.
That
is not.
Are they the Mustangs?
That's not what I was going to guess.
What were you going to go with?
I was going to go with Miners, but I know that's not right.
That's Tinnick.
That's what I was thinking. Because I had T in my mind. And what is Dugway?
I think it's the Mustangs. We'll have to look it up. Not 100% sure. I think it's the Mustangs.
So Anderton knocks down the 3. That is a really, really good question.
They are the Mustangs.
They are the Mustangs.
Look at you.
Okay.
Look at you.
See now, but if you start getting into all the movie stuff, with both you guys, then I'm going to be at a loss.
In the movie questions?
Yeah, I don't think I can hang. I don't think I can hang there.
I really do think you could get me better.
Here's one, not to make you feel bad. I'm just curious. What is Escalante?
The Mokies.
That's how I didn't know how to say it, so that's why I figured kind of a 2-for-1 special.
Get
there.
it on one you don't know,
Now,
because that's what's going to go.
I'll give you a fun fact about the Mokies. The Mokies down there, Escalante, you can't say Escalante, it's Escalante. That is the home of the great Jim Spencer, who was a coach at Provo High. That's where it's from, and helped coaching there a little bit too. And so
That's a good one.
also home to Nemo's Burgers, which is a great place.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's Anderton again.
Can't get that one to go.
Good hustle by Higbee.
Nice boredom bucket there by Vi Higbee, and Higbee's gonna get the timeout. So, all right, so we're gonna stay one more time.
Yeah, we can say it one more time.
Okay, we can stay one more time. So, okay, we already did the whole what's one, because the other one I always enjoyed, Green River.
The Pirates.
Okay,
Of course.
that's what I needed. I needed to get it.
Yeah. Now I think they have a guy who's in the state record book for scoring.
Who?
Oh, gotta
Okay.
remember the name. 57, something like that.
Yeah, he had a really good year.
Yeah.
And that's
You know who I'm talking about. Right?
so he was a year older than me,
Oh, okay.
if I'm right. A year or two older than me, and then had a whole thing
You mean per score, per game?
per game. Right?
He's a little younger than you. Justin Johnson,
Oh, that's a
What
different
did he
name than I
average?
was expecting.
33.4 a game.
There you go.
Now, Leon Carter in 1992, also a Pirate, 32.9.
Wait, that watermelon down there is doing something.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, and it's a great, you got to go golfing. It's a great 9-hole course. There's an easy 2 there. 31 points for number 1. And he's going to reverse that out. But just an impressive year here for Olympus. When you look at the year that both these teams have had and all that kind of stuff, I mean, just an interesting year.
Really, you think about it, to have Jordy Barnes 4 years and Dutch Dowdell for 4 years, and that's what your team is built around, and then to come back and have this kind of a year right here. Good heavens, Matt. What a job, What a job.
Oh, my heavens. How about the 3 from Vi Higbee? That's actually Lazarus knocking down the 3. As Drisdom comes back the other way, sends out. Yeah, that ball was off when it left his hand.
And really this is a tough game, obviously, for Highland. But, you look at what Chris Jones has done at Highland, and it's just, sensational, really.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it, semifinal last year, state championship this year. I mean, the guy's done a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Terrific job, right?
And
Really has revitalized the program.
he really has, and he's got young players out here. I think Reese is a junior, Drisdom is a junior. And so there's a lot of really good things. In fact, let's see, I think that Dodge is a junior too. He is.
Yeah.
So-
Anderton's a senior, Hodge is a senior. Those are and Higbee's a senior. Those are the main guys that move on. Everyone else is coming back.
So, this Highland team really has a chance,
Yep.
Next year. And, this is going to be a tough one to take. But sometimes you have to go through something a little bit tough to get the thing that you want at the end.
How many times did Matt Barnes make it to a semi or a championship and come up short, right? Like you've got to learn how to work through that. And
that is really a good point. For many years, Matt just couldn't get one.
Yep.
And he had great years. He had Mark Jackson. He had all these guys, John Hill. He had all these really, really good players, and he just couldn't quite get over the hump.
I'm going to get this number wrong, but it's approximate. He's 4 state championships. I think I heard in his 28-year career he's been to a semifinal 18 times.
Unreal.
So you want to talk about it takes, you got to learn how to get through that, right?
Yeah,
And
sometimes you do. And I remember playing them in the semifinal. We had Sean Green, and sometimes it's just somebody gets a little break and you don't.
yeah.
And we really probably shouldn't have won that game. We did with Jackson Emery, but he could have easily won it that year.
Well, and it would have been crazy, right? To just go through all that stuff with these kids and just trying to find, who, what, where, and why, and then just finally break through.
Yeah,
And he had all that stuff, and then he went on a little run.
yeah.
Speaking of Sean Green, assistant at Davis, who won the state championship this year. Davis also beat Olympus this year.
Yeah, Davis, that's a tough team right
I
there.
didn't even think about that.
Beat Highland, too.
Huh.
So an extra 2 could be put on number 1, Gavin Lowe. So that's going to give him 33 unofficial points thus far.
Unofficially.
Oh, my heavens. But 65-40. But Coach, it's been an absolute blast having you along with this, man. It's been an absolute treat.
Hey, this is the fun stuff. Boy, just get to come talk about basketball for a couple hours. This is a pretty good deal.
Well, the funny thing is that the game's going to keep everything weird because we're going to stay on you and I because Dane's going to go down to go do all the post-game stuff and everything else. We'll stay out as long as you want, Coach. As the 3 does not go, as the rebound taken by Caden Jackson. But just making sure all of our fans know what's going to happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I think Dane's going to agree with me on this. One of the best things that's happened in this whole state tournament is Dusty back on the mic. That's one of the coolest things right here. If I were that kid, I'd be tired too.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm going to fake an injury so Coach can finally take me out of the game for the first time this year.
Yeah.
And Tristan just gave him a little dap. A lot of respect between those two.
Yeah.
Coach, you're right. I mean, so many good messages. We appreciate all the uplifting messages that we've gotten from the community and fans and parents and others, but it's been awesome to have the voice back here behind the mic. Been amazing.
Absolutely.
30-second timeout. We're gonna stay here, yeah.
Yeah, we can stay here.
But Coach, that really means a lot. Really appreciate it. And but just been a crazy week back. And I'll tell you right now, watching Olympus and Highland go at it in this game has been a blast. But watching what Matt Barnes has built has been spectacular and what he's been able to do.
He's built a machine.
He's built a machine, and we talk about Highland having guys back. Well, guess what? Olympus has got guys back too, including this guy named Lowe.
I'm sure that 5A is going to be submitting early college applications for Gavin Lowe.
Early
college applications for Gavin Lowe.
You want to make sure he gets there next year.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm looking at this roster. You got Jackson back. He's a stud. 64 threes on the year. He's good. Lazarus back he'll be a junior. I mean, wow. Owen is, let's see, he's a senior. So they got some key pieces back. Oh, look at this, Matt. Matt won't take him out. You're gonna have to be more hurt than that for him to come out.
Yeah. He's like, if you want to come out, you got to get really hurt. But the funny thing is, he had that whole thing, and I just didn't expect that he was going to stay on the sideline.
Yeah. That's just not Gavin Lowe.
It wasn't. 15 on the shot clock, but just been an absolute star. Speaking of Gavin, throughout the year, but throughout his career, of what he's been able to do is the fall away rattles in. But it's been an outstanding year, Coach, to see everything from Coach Jones and everything they do.
Send off here for Gavin.
You see Gavin Lowe going to go out here with all the stuff they got to do there at Olympus. But Coach, we'll just say a little bit about Coach Jones. The dude's been unreal.
He's done a great job, and it's unfortunate that their season has to end like this. Not after the game, but later they're going to look back at this thing and say, hey, that was a heck of a year that we had. We don't like how it ended, but that was a heck of a year.
And Dane, it's just kind of nuts to watch how it goes,
This is getting a little crazy here. He's trying to get some stuff thrown back and forth, and had some non-celebration.
And I think that actually came from the Highland student body there.
Well,
All from the Highland student
yeah.
body.
So what has happened is Highland brought some poppers. They started to get them going, and then canisters start going back and forth. And yeah, we're gonna get this settled down here. Can't we just all get along?
But Dan, what are your thoughts? 101 left in the fourth quarter of what we've seen from Coach Jones.
Well, the way this game starts, it's tough to get your group to get back in it, right? I mean, once that train gets rolling for Olympus, it's just hard to stop it. And look, it's still a great year. They're co-region champs. They're going to come up short here in the state championship, but just a fantastic job. This has been a tough team to deal with all year long. There's a reason why they're in the state tournament and the state championship. It was just a tough night for Highland to ever get it going, and obviously not the right time that you want to have that kind of a game.
Yeah, I did not get the 3 to go, but it's been an outstanding, just absolute run here from Coach Barnes and Highland. It's been a terrific experience to see what they've been able to accomplish this year.
Yep, and this will be five for Matt Barnes, and that's a select group of guys. There's not too many of them that have 5 or more.
Yeah, just an absolute select group, and been a terrific run for Matt and for Olympus, and just an absolutely terrific, there's no other way of putting it. They have been absolutely outstanding, and you see Matt Barnes with his coaching staff and all the stuff they've had to deal with just put things together. And the 2025 5A Kings, not even surprising. All Olympus.
Yeah, and boy, they was emphatic. They left no doubt, and they played just a heck of a game, and it was a team effort. We talked about Gavin Lowe making his teammates better. But you know what? His teammates make Gavin better, because it's really hard to go double down on Gavin because he has such good shooters around him.
Well, there's nowhere you can turn him to. There's nowhere you're going to put him to get the kind of shots you want him to take. Because if you want him to shoot low, he can do it. If you want him to shoot outside, kid can absolutely do that as well.
Yeah, he's a well-rounded player, and he's got patience as an offensive player too. He doesn't force it very often, and he's an excellent passer and a willing passer.
But it's got to be interesting to be down the floor and watch Coach Barnes go through and shake everybody's hand and give everybody a little bit of a hug. But it's just been, there's nothing better than seeing the legends become legendary.
Yeah, and that's what you're seeing with Matt, and I think we talked about this a little bit off air, but there was a long stretch where he had a hard time getting over the hump, and he had some great players, but once he got over the hump, man, it's rolling. And this loss right here for Chris, he and Matt are actually really, really good friends. Yeah. They're really good friends, and they'll probably be hanging out in the next couple days. And but you know what, Highland will be better because of this next year. And I would love to watch the 2 games they play next year. Highland will come back stronger because of this game. They'll learn some things, and like we talked about before, sometimes you have to have this kind of an experience to be able to win it the next time.
Well, and I think the other thing too is just you have to get to the spot that Olympus is in only comes because of how often they lost and how close they were, and how they have to keep battling and keep pushing through to get to the spot they want to get to.
Yeah, and Matt's paid a price. I don't know how many years has he been the head coach at Olympus?
I thought it was going to be a little bit longer, but I want to say 17 years or something like that. I'll find out, and we can go through it.
It might be more than that. He might be in the, as I'm thinking about it, Mark Jackson. Yeah, it's more than that, because I recruited Mark Jackson way back in the day, and Matt was the coach. And so that's at least 25, 27. He's probably closer to 25, 30 years at Olympus. And he played there.
And that's the other part, right? Because he went to Olympus. He wanted to coach at Olympus. He did get there to go coach. It's just been an interesting thing to see what he's done.
Yeah, and that is kind of neat, to have a guy who's been there, for his whole life, basically. I mean, he went to Salt Lake Community and played there, and then Utah State. But other than that, this guy literally bleeds green and white.
And it's just been an amazing thing to go through that. Oh, that's a wrong thing. But
one thing I would say, too, is, when you have a guy like Matt Barnes, who's had a great career, a lot of times what you have also is, consistency in your staff. And Coach Hardy, has been his right-hand guy forever, and that makes a huge difference. So when you look at all the success he's had, sometimes you look at the people who's around him, and they've done just a tremendous job around him.
Well, and they've been there for so long. I think that's the other part, too, is his coaching staff actually stays together. They don't get up. They don't leave. There's a bunch of that kind of stuff that happens for him. And then when they leave, you get another one that comes in, and they're there for a very, very long time. Mark Hardy has been there. I mean, I don't know how long he's been there. The guy
Right?
has been there for as long as I've been here.
It's almost like when you see Matt, you see Mark. I mean, they go together, And what's really cool about Coach Hardy, though, is he's a loyal guy. And I was really fortunate when I was at Lone Peak and at Lehigh, is I had some guys like Coach Bromley, Coach Frampton, and some guys who had been with me for years and years and years, and were just loyal to what we were trying to do. And you say that, oh yeah, of course they're going to be loyal, but
Right.
but it doesn't happen as often as you would hope.
Well, and it's funny because there's so many coaches and different people that tell you they'll do it, and then they don't. And it's one of those things of, hey, if you'll do it, we're going to be amazing if you'll stick around. Because when you look at Mark Hardy, you can show people, like, look, this is what comes when you're just patient enough to make it through.
Yep. And so, you're excited for Coach Barnes, but you're excited for Coach Hardy and the rest of their staff. And because those guys, I mean, they're at all the spring league tournaments. They're at all the summer tournaments. I mean, they're coaching 50, 60 games a year, and they're in all the practices. I mean, those guys are putting in a heck of an effort, and, they're a big part of it.
It's just an interesting thing, and we'll start cutting the nets here in a moment. But just been an absolute, I guess, terrific thing to see all these kids just come through. And then the ones we get to know, I mean, Gavin Lowe is a junior. I know we talked about this on our broadcast. The kid is a junior, and he's going to come back next year. You got number 13, the Davion Lazarus.
And
Kid's just a sophomore.
yeah,
Going to see him back next year, right? And there's so many different guys that are all going to come back next year.
Jackson. I mean, he showed the whole package today. I thought, you see him being able to get to the basket. He's got a mid-range to him. He's got a three-point shot to him, and they play well together. It's not about Jackson. It's not about Lowe. It's about team, and that's why they win.
And that's what's amazing when they start getting going and they start doing stuff. It's just that they don't always hit all the things you expect them to hit. But on top of it, they don't make everything. And they just kind of make all the stuff work, and they make everything go. And it's just amazing to see what every kid kind of latches onto and how they go through and explain themselves.
Yeah, and we'll see what they, next year, what, who can challenge them a little bit. For sure, Highland is one of those teams. But Timpview has their entire team back. Everybody back, and that's a very talented team, with Coach Engel. And so I would expect that, Timpview would be around. I think Springville's got a little bit of talent too. And so I think 5A, in my mind, is really going to be really good again.
Well, and the funny thing, too, when you go back and you look at what this tournament's going to look like and who could all get through, I mean, it just gets very, very interesting when you start hitting who do you think's going to be great, and you can go through a bunch of schools that all bring back all the players that you know now because they're all coming back.
They're all coming back. Jeez. They are all coming back.
But just been an absolutely terrific day. Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming on with us and spending so much time. Been an absolute blast, man. It's been a direct pleasure for us to have you joining us.
My pleasure, and so good to have you back in the booth, Dusty. I mean, there's nobody like you. There's only one Dusty, and guy's done a ton for high school sports, and Dane is, Dane is fantastic
Dane's
too.
amazing.
We won't tell him that, but unless he watches this again. But Dane's fantastic. But we appreciate you guys from just a coaching standpoint. But great to do it, and geez, a heck of a lot of fun to be able to talk ball for a couple hours.
It's amazing, right? It's just been absolutely terrific. For Austin Bigelow, one of our absolute terrific camera guys, and for Vince Francis, and for Dane Stewart, and course coach, been absolutely terrific. Love having you on the call.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely terrific. Our final score, it's Olympus 69, and it is Highland 40. And for a terrific job that we've had all year long, making sure we bring you stuff every single week across the state of Utah. Been an absolute blast to get through this. For Vince Francis, for Dane Stewart, I am Dusty Litzter. Thanks for joining us here in 2025.